Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. This happened in January the 4th and have released the footage of the actual murder. Darren Pencille, 36, allegedly killed 51-year-old Lee Pomeroy in a savage and unrelenting onslaught on board the Guildford to London Waterloo train. On Mr Pomeroy, who died on the eve of his 52nd birthday, was on the way to the capital for a day out with his 14-year-old son. The Old Bailey heard how the argument broke out, and as the father argued with him, and before any punches are thrown, a knife was taken out of his jacket pocket and he stabbed Mr Pomeroy in the neck. Pencille got off at Clandon, where he was picked up by his girlfriend Chelsea Mitchell, 28, who is accused of ferrying him away from the scene, helping him change his appearance and carrying out searches on the internet in relation to the murder. Mr Pomeroy died a little over an hour after suffering the fatal wound to his neck, along with 8 wounds to his torso, further cuts to his arms, hands and thighs in less than 30 seconds. The IT consultant can be seen arriving at the station with his son, and his son stands by while his dad purchases the tickets. Pencille gets on a few minutes later and walks over the footbridge from platform 2 to 1. When their train pulls off, they go through separate doors but cross paths in the aisle. When they turn towards each other, Mr Pomeroy remains standing as Pencille walks by, and both men exchange looks before an argument breaks out. Following the brief argument, Pencille walks away. Mr Pomeroy follows him up the aisle, as his son describes in evidence that he gives later on. Several different witnesses in the carriage said they heard Mr Pomeroy saying, "You need to apologise to me, you humiliated me in front of my son," and Mr Pencille can be heard saying, "Leave me alone, leave me alone." A 17-year-old boy also said, a witness said that he heard Mr Pencille say, "You're racist," so I'm not sure what had actually occurred, every single thing that had been said, because his son wasn't present. But his son also said in court, his son told detectives in a videoed interview that his dad took too long to move out the way of Mr Pencille, and Mr Pencille said to him, "Ignorance is bliss." The boy's dad replied back by telling him to shut up, and then Mr Pencille said, "Suck your mom," and then the boy's father replied back, "I did to yours last night." The argument continued until Mr Pencille said, "Come off the train," and then his dad said, "Are you threatening me?" and got up to follow him with his fist clenched. This is what his son said in court. The boy told officers he didn't follow the men into the carriage, but he heard them shouting. Actually said his dad could be quite intimidating due to his height, and observed that he was bigger than Pencille. Jurors heard how he saw 4 passengers fleeing the actual carriage. They're all the people who gave witness statements. As they left, one of them can be heard saying, "This is why I hate getting on effing trains." The young boy said he didn't see the stabbing of his father, but when he walked up, he seen his dad sitting in the chair covered in blood, and he asked his dad what had happened. His dad said, "He punched me. My dad wasn't looking at me." He described that his father wasn't really aggressive. He just had a bad attitude, and he wasn't known for violence, but he did demonstrate, probably as stubborn as Pencille was, to apologise. So I'm not sure how straightforward this is in regard to, it's a brutal murder, he's going to get a long time for it, but it also was an argument too, so that has to go into account to a degree. But I'm not expecting them to show any leniency in this case. So I'd love to see what people's comments are on this, so please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and condolences to the family of Lee Pomeroy and his son. I hope he can still grow up to do some good in this world, even though having gone through that. So thank you for joining me. Peace.